Alrighty, all got egg on. Taking a look at more Americans confused experiencing Australia. I found some really good ones for this. So I encourage you to just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Part one of this was, probably a couple months ago now, maybe more, and it went very well. So I thank you guys. I hope this one does well also, because it's a good one. Let's jump straight in. When an American enters Target for the first time?
What do you think of Australian Target?
Oh, well, it's like Walmart, but worse. It's like... It's ugly. It's so bad.
It's ugly, what? Hold up. When an American enters an Australian Target for the first time. Okay, so I do remember hearing that you guys do have Target in Australia, right? Like there are some stores that you guys have and we have, right? Now, I do think I remember hearing that Target is different in Australia, but I don't really remember why, like expanding upon that, right?
What do you think of Australian Target?
I have to say, we only get a small kind of glimpse here.
Like Walmart.
Is it like the same Target with like the red word, the red logo, right? Or is it just the same name and totally different? Because from the inside, it looks different. Totally different, right? It looks a little smaller. Our Targets are usually pretty big in the U.S. They're always that kind of vanilla and red color scheme, always, right? This is more like a white or vanilla and gray, right? It's very muted. They really kind of go all out with the presentation in Target here. And it's
like...
It just looks different. It almost looks like more like the old Kmart's used to look, or like maybe even a Kohl's. Maybe Kohl's is a little more upscale than this. I don't know. And these are American franchises I'm speaking about, right? This doesn't look like a Target, though. I will say that. I kind of get what she's saying. That isn't kind of funny, right? Because remember, some American people, especially like American women, are obsessed with Target, right? It's like a lifestyle. And I can imagine if she's going to Target, she lands in Australia, she's going to Target thinking it's the same Target. She finds, quite a surprise. I was so shocked by Australian Target. I can't believe this. Our Kmart's, rather, is like your Targets. Our Targets is like your... Wait, whoa, hold up. What? Why are the shelves at child's height? I guess they are kind of low. That is weird. This is kind of accurate. It does look like a store called Bed Bath & Beyond that we used to have here, and I believe they're like gone or bankrupt or whatever. But that is kind of the vibe I got too. That's a good point. I guess here's the score here. May says that as an American in Australia, Australian Target is like American Kmart, which I remember, but I'm not aware of any near me. I've never seen one of those in like 15 years. Australian Kmart is like American Target. So Kmart in Australia is kind of the nice, fun, like that's the happening place, I guess. That's where you want to go, right? If you want the full experience.
This is my first store experience.
First storm. Oh, hell no.
It's really coming down.
Oh my god, this is terrible. You can't even see, but...
Jeez, that is pretty wicked.
I have a very clear view. This is so shocking. It feels like the world's ending. Like,
you hear the thunder?
In Rochester, but not at this caliber. And it's so funny, all my neighbors are watching it on their balconies. That would be cool if I had a balcony to watch on. This is okay, the window's good enough. But...
Damn, you can see lightning flashing.
Crazy. My friend Dylan always talks about it, and Dylan, you were not kidding. This is insane. And it's funny because I come from snow country, so we have like awful snowstorms. This is a rainstorm. Like it rains in Rochester. Oh, it's hailing.
Dude, that is.
Oh my god, hail is hitting my window.
How many clips have I seen too of like hail during storms in Australia? You guys, I feel like get hail a lot. That is crazy. You can hear it.
Okay, honestly, this is one of the more exciting things that has happened to me since being here. This is so scary. Okay, I don't think I should sit near the window.
Holy crap. Yeah, maybe back away. Usually in storms, I back away from windows.
I have truly never experienced.
But our storms, we rarely get storms anymore. It's really weird. It's like I remember getting thunderstorms as a kid, but as an adult, like, you know, living in my own house, thankfully, I guess, like, it's kind of a good thing, right? You don't want storms all the time tearing stuff apart, but I feel like we just never get crazy storms where I live, at least in Northern Illinois. I just feel like somehow we don't. It's weird. We get rain, but we never get crazy storms. Maybe once a year, if that. It's weird.
A storm like this. Like, I've experienced hail and like downpouring, but this feels crazy. I just had to show this, like, for my family and friends back home. Guys, this is nothing like what we have seen. I don't know how to describe. I mean, this is a subtropical climate, so
this is in Brisbane, apparently, according to the description.
The type of storms that are in Florida, but again, I'm from the north of the United States, so we don't experience anything like this. So this.
When she said Rochester, I'm assuming she means New York. I don't know, but I'm thinking that's what she means. So yeah, that's probably not too common up there. Maybe, you know, the southeast, right? The kind of Gulf Coast and eastern coast might get some stuff like this. Florida, the Carolinas, you know, Louisiana, Alabama, that kind of southern U.S. But I still think there's something about, from what I've learned and what I've seen, Australian storms just seem to, they just kind of hit different. It's like something really cool. It also could be very intimidating if you're not really into storms. I feel like Aussie storms are, you know, like a final boss type thing. First day, American working in an Aussie school. Oi, introduce. I can't play this because the audio, because there's, of course, copyrighted music, and YouTube won't like that. You can see right here, the student. Oh, I introduced a new, that word that you guys say very nonchalantly, and I understand it. It's, you guys say it in such a good way, right? I love it. It still is just doesn't fly here, and I've learned in my videos, if I say it, I get insta demonetized hard, and then sometimes even flagged, which I don't want to be flagged, because then you can, you know, get in trouble with your channel. But so that's why I don't say it anymore. But yeah, the C word, you know the one. Love how you could say it just, I don't know if this is like obviously a skit. I don't know if that's quite normal in school. Like, is it? I could picture maybe very rare contexts. I love how she's getting an education, like, oh, it's not a swear word here. And I think that's true. I don't know. I just can't picture, maybe because I'm too American. I feel like this is just too hard to process, like that word being said so freely, even in a school environment. I could be wrong, though. You know, even the comments do say that did not happen. We definitely get in trouble for swearing in school. Then again, we have someone else that says, when my students first called me a sick C, I was so happy. It meant they accepted me. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Maybe it is said in school sometimes, although quite a few comments say that wouldn't really fly in school in Australia. So maybe you guys have to let me know. Either way, it does make for a funny skit, though, because, of course, the American woman would be like, oh, my God, what? In reality, it would be a term of endearment in this context, I feel like.
Okay, wait, leave it there. Okay, Americans, this is why in Australia we do not use clothes dryers much.
Damn, that thing is
Look at
cooking.
That is the sun drying my clothes. You can literally see it drying the clothes.
Can't argue with that.
You do not need electricity to do that in Australia. Thank you, sunshine. Whoa.
I mean, that's kind of cool to see, actually. As nature intended. This is definitely the easiest, most efficient way to dry clothes. No arguments here. We're just so used to our washers and dryers here, man. It becomes like muscle memory. It's like the only way to do it. I cannot remember the last time or just even have witnessed people drying clothes outside around me, like in the U.S. It is just not happening, right? It's crazy.
15.
Maybe, I mean, you guys have a lot of sun though, right? Yeah, overall, in most places, I know it depends. But if you're somewhere sunny in Australia, you get that Australian really wicked sun. Yeah, this is the way to go for sure. And I'm honestly a little envious because I feel like sun-dried clothes, that's kind of the best, right? Like the best case scenario for the clothes. Certainly better than a machine dryer. Being an American in Australia is all about learning how to not own a dryer. Unfortunately, they went to, well, first of all, damn, this place is a little bit of, okay, maybe it's the wind, the mess, right? Like the sofa's kind of falling apart here. The cushions are all over the place. But, yeah, clearly you can see it's a little bit wet outside. So the drying part doesn't work real good when, you know, the clothes are getting wet. So yeah, at least they're trying, but you know, you got to make sure it is that Australian sun, you know, shining out there with you know, blue skies and even some clouds, just, you know, preferably not rain clouds. People in the comments actually say like most Australian homes do have dryers, but we only use them when it's absolutely necessary. If it's raining, do what most Aussies would do: buy an indoor clothes horse and hang your clothes on that. If all else fails, use the dryer. That's what someone says in the comments. So right there. So yeah, pretty interesting. I've never heard of even an indoor clothes horse either, but that sounds good. Or just, you know, bite the bullet, use a dryer for that day if it's really rainy. But yeah, I thought this was pretty funny. Whoa. Dude, that is incredible. Like, what the heck? Apparently the locals are saying, so like, I guess when tourists come to, I believe this is in Brisbane, that everyone gets scared as hell because there's planes flying right by the city here, like right by buildings. Now, especially as Americans, we don't really like that idea. Planes by buildings, not a good history with that. So what's crazy is people said this is actually normal. They do this on purpose for something called river fire. Okay. So that sounds pretty cool. This would be cool to see, right? I mean, seeing it that up close, like, and if you have a good perspective, like up in a building, that is pretty wild. Pretty freaky a little bit, honestly, but pretty cool as well. Wow, look at this one. Another shot. Now, this is from the ground, but you can see, I mean, the fighter jets, that is actually super sick, dude. Damn. Things that confuse me as an American in Australia, specifically Melbourne. Low water, we've seen that one. An entire building in a mall? What the hell? Have I seen that before? That rings a bell for some reason. Yo, that is crazy. What is the story with that? Holy crap, it's huge. Flipping on, yeah, that I like. I like that. I don't know why we don't do that here. That is so smart. This specific abbreviation giveaway, the PEDS? Oh my God. That feels wrong, she wrote. Oh my God. Yeah, that's better than, I guess, another way you could have wrote it, but yeah.
Railroad prices. That's crazy.
Yeah. Groceries are just super expensive, especially in Australia too. That's kind of how they naturally are, right? I think that's best for the potato, and I feel like I've heard, doesn't that make them last a little longer when they're just normal picked potatoes? So what if they have a little dirt on them, right? You can wash it off. Just saying. That's odd. Although I guess it's hard to find here. Everything's super sensitized. Wait a second. I can't read it. I almost wonder if it's like peppers or something, or some sort of chicken mixed with something. Like herbs or peppers or something. You guys have the Euro style carts. If that chicken was moldy, that sucks. But I don't know if it was. The Euro carts is a big W. Wish we had those here. I only have one store that has those here, and that's literally a European store, like an import store. All the normal American stores, no, we don't have these. Our trolleys, as you would say, are not good. Confused why there's red wax on the bottom of the bananas? All right, I would be confused as well. I've never heard of that. Rocket. What in the hell is rocket? Was it spinach? I can't tell. Maybe it's spinach. It doesn't actually look like it. Maybe it's oh, geez, I don't know. It's not lettuce, not spinach. I don't know. I don't know if it's basil. I don't know if it's arugula, cilantro. I can't tell. Yeah, you guys have awesome snacks and chip like varieties. How come you don't like beans? What? You know, it sounds funny. We always say this, but going to a grocery store in different countries, especially as an American, would be fascinating. It would be part of your trip, like literally. I definitely want to explore Australian grocery stores. I feel like you guys have some really, really cool products to look at. I feel like your local produce and meats and stuff is probably like just so delicious and good quality, right? That's the big thing, the good quality, right? Damn. Yeah, I want to do that. That's like the first thing I do when I land in Australia. I honestly just go to the grocery store.
Here are the 5 major differences between Australian houses and American houses.
Cool.
I'm going to narrow this down to New South Wales, where I live, and Texas, where I used to live. Number 1 is the yards, which Australians tend to call the garden. And I totally understand why. Because if you see the front of an Australian house, it's like being transported to the English countryside. It looks just like a garden. Absolutely fantastic.
That's
Beautiful.
pretty cool.
I feel like Australians have a really great concept of landscaping. Whereas in the US, Texas, like, I feel like front yards are pretty basic.
Yeah.
The second thing is
it varies a
space.
lot. There's some neighborhoods that are so like kind of basic. Yeah. There's like not personality to the yards or the house, but that can vary a lot. There's some spectacular houses and properties here with great yards. So it just varies like anywhere else.
I feel like most homes that I see here are like average 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, maybe 2. Whereas I feel like the homes in Texas are so big.
Yeah.
So much more space. Also a lot of more outside space as well. Like I feel like our yards are quite big in comparison. Number 3 is the cost. The average cost of a home in New South Wales is 1.2 million. We'll never own a home here.
That's got to be
the
mostly
average
because of
cost
Sydney,
a house in
right?
Texas is around 300,000, which is around 460,000 AUD.
Jeez.
It hurts a bit. 4th one
That's
is the layout.
crazy.
I've noticed that in a lot of Australian bathrooms, the toilet is separate from
I
the
love
bathroom
that you guys
itself,
do
where,
that.
like,
That's
the,
so smart.
Where the tub would be,
It's just
and
better.
the shower would be, and where you wash your hands.
I have never seen that in my life in the U.S. where you have the separate toilet until our house that we had when we lived in New Mexico a while back. That was pretty cool. So a lot of the houses around there that I was able to see inside, they had the separate toilet from the rest of the bathroom. I thought that was so freaking cool. So you can see that in the U.S. It's just really rare. But yeah, it's basically not a thing here because, like I said, for 30 odd years, I've never seen that anywhere else. And I feel like it should be the standard. I think that's really a cool thing.
Whereas I feel
And
like
better,
in Texas,
more sanitary
it's
as well.
all just like in one area. It makes a bit more sense to me now that I've lived here for longer, because if someone needs to use the toilet and there's only one bathroom in the whole house,
Yeah.
you know. Also, the way in which Texas bathrooms utilize the shower and the tub, it's kind of like the same thing.
Sometimes.
Whereas I feel like bathrooms that I've seen in Australian homes, it's the tub and the shower just like completely different. locations.
That makes sense, and that also varies because that I would say it's 50-50. There's a lot of American houses that do that. I actually prefer that, but
I'm actually going to add one more.
there's some that combine them too.
Also, the facade of the houses in New South Wales. It's amazing to me that they can all be so different and so unique and
That's
so
cool.
beautiful in their character, because in Texas, for the most part, you've got these neighborhoods and suburbs where the looks don't really vary.
It's like copy
as
and
much.
paste.
I feel like the houses kind of look very similar.
Yeah, they do.
In Australia, it's just everything is so unique and pretty. I feel like there's actually so much more to talk about in regards to houses. I might do like a part 2 later, but if you guys have anything to add in the comments, just like.
Yeah, a lot of those things, especially when it comes to like the bathroom, things being separate, I just think that's better, right? I'm sure that varies throughout the world and even within Australia, throughout the U.S., whatever, right? But I feel like that's just so much better. And I wish that was more common here. Seems to be common in Australia. It is just not, unfortunately, common here.
Culture shock being in America right now. It's Sunday and I'm going to get coffee and I was like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna have to pay the Sunday service fee, like it's gonna be more expensive. And then I'm like, wait a second, actually
I remember
I'm in
hearing
America,
about
that's
this.
not a thing. And I can get Sunday coffee for the same price. And I can go in a drive-thru.
Wow.
Which is so nice, so convenient. But yeah, it's not anywhere near as good as Australian coffee though. It's reverse culture
that's
shock.
the thing. I guess, or American coffee, no Sunday service fee, drive-thrus everywhere. It's pretty easy to get on the go. But how it tastes, that's a whole nother story, right? It's so funny because throughout this channel, I've learned about so many things, right? And I've tried so many things, obviously from you guys, mail time through stores, whatever, right? But I tell you what, the one thing I really am just so curious about after years is Australian coffee. Now, people have sent Australian coffee, sort of in the mail, but that is still not the same. I mean, like right at the cafe, get a fresh, coffee from various places in Australia. People just rave about it. Even Americans, right? People from every corner of the earth that go to Australia, everyone raves about the coffee. And I tell you what, after years of hearing that, damn, why is it so good? I want to try it. I believe it. I believe that it's good. You gotta taste it for yourself, right? And yes, basically everyone in the comments is very confused about the fact that there's a Sunday fee. Like, where is that? And she had to say Australia. Is Australia like one of the only places that happens in?
Some food. Sure, what do you want to get? Chipotle? Nope, don't have it. Burger King? Sorta. Popeyes? I don't even know what that one is. Wendy's, if you want ice cream. Jack in the Box? Nope. Taco Bell? Depends what state you're in. Dunkin' Donuts? Nope, sorry, Charlie. Chick-fil-A? Nope. Applebee's? Carl's Jr. Again, depends what state you're in. Five Guys? One Direction? Panda Express? Nope. Panera? Still don't have it. Then what do you have? We have Hungry Jack's, which is like Burger King. Actually, Hungry Jack's is currently getting sued by American McDonald's. What? Too long of a story, just ignore it. We have McDonald's, but it's completely different from your McDonald's. Red Rooster, Money Laundering Company, and KFC. Oh, and like Subway, but no one really goes to Subway. That's it. Yep. Oh, and like Domino's. God. Hey, I'm hungry. Can we go get some food?
That's kind of
Sure,
crazy. I'm assuming there's a few more franchises than what she mentioned, but to be honest, the lack of like major corporation franchises or restaurants in Australia, I feel like is such a kind of good thing, right? Because you guys have tons of food. It's just that means it's more of a local level. And I think that's awesome, right? I mean, yeah, having a couple convenient places really on the go, right, is fine and dandy if you need it here and there. But the fact that, big fast food American giants that you guys aren't super into, I think that's a kind of a great reflection on the country, right? That's pretty cool that you guys basically value, making your own food, grilling out, cooking at home, and or going to, local hot spots. I think that's just really fun, and I think it's overall better. Also, this is not a hot take at all. Someone says here, Macca's is better than American McDonald's. Dude, that's not a hot take. That is a totally agreed upon by everyone. Like, yes, Macca's is 1,000,000%. It has to be better than American McDonald's. Come on, no one Yeah, I hate to say it's no one in their right mind likes American McDonald's. I certainly don't. Also, I guess like in the comments, people keep saying that people didn't know that there were states in Australia. They must be, I don't know, buried in here somewhere. That's pretty bad. Like, I didn't know before this channel. Of course, I've learned a lot. I've made an effort to learn. I didn't know like exactly the name of all the states and stuff like that, but I knew there were states in Australia. Like, come on, it's not just one giant country and that's it. Like, of course, there's, multiple layers going on like anywhere else.
Compulsory in Australia? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's right. How do we
Forgot
get people
about
to
that.
turn up? Democracy sausage. What? Want Australians to go somewhere, you have a sausage sizzle. A sausage sizzle? Snags on the barbie? Sausage and bread? So you incentivize people to vote with a sausage in bread. Not just sausage and bread. There's tomato sauce, barbecue sauce,
Hell
fried
yeah.
onions. What if they don't like sausage and bread? Well, it's free food or a fine, take your pick.
Oh, wow.
Voting is compulsory in Australia?
Free food or a fine. There you go. I think this is so cool. It's another thing that why isn't this more common everywhere? Australia, this is so genius. If for people that are reluctant to vote or nervous or whatever, right? You give free food out for voting. How cool is that? A democracy sausage. What an awesome thing. Seriously, bravo for that. Why can't we do this in the U.S., right? Come up with something good here and do it. But no, it's not fun. It's pretty boring and sleepy and no wonderful smells of good food in sight, unfortunately, at my local polling place.
Not lying. Australia, motherfucking hot. It's like 95 degrees today. 36 degrees, I have learned in Celsius. But that's actually not what I am having trouble with, because I grew up in southern Arizona, which is
very hot.
Also famously very hot. It gets close to 50 degrees in the summer, like 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, I'm very used to the heat. What I don't quite understand is, in a country that is so famous for being so hot, why don't you guys have central AC? My room is an oven. It is a literal furnace. I am being cooked alive when I sleep at night.
That's rough.
Australian and New Zealand homes have actually never heard of proper insulation. It's the same thing in the winter too. Like in the winter, my house is so cold. It was absolutely freezing. Anyways, moving on. I need to figure out what the good beaches are here, because I want to start going to the beach when I get back from my trip to the United States, because it's going to be really hot and such great beach weather. And every single day that it's hot, people are like, lots of people going to the beach today. That's kind of the thing that people have said. You guys were not lying.
Yeah. Australian heat, if anyone wouldn't expect Australia to be hot, they live under a rock. Yeah, Australia's definitely got a lot of heat. I've pulled up the weather maps before where it shows Australia, the whole place gets super hot. Certain parts of the year. You guys have insane heat and the sun. I just feel like your sun hits a little harder as well. No AC. I mean, I think there is AC in Australian houses, right? I don't like to generalize. A lot of people do way too generalized things. I think there's ACs, and I know there's different types of cooling and stuff. But central AC not being super common in Australia, considering it is ultra common here in the U.S. U.S. is a pretty hot country overall. I'd argue Australia is hotter as a whole, right? It is very odd. I'll be honest. What y'all doing? Where's the central AC? I'm going to cut it there. There's honestly a few more we could have looked at perhaps another time. I mean, this is pretty fun. Right, it's been a long time for this follow-up, right? The part one was really, really cool, and I hope you enjoyed this as well. I certainly did. Americans being confused abroad in general, or just experiencing places that they didn't expect, is fun, right? And I think that goes for anyone from any country visiting anywhere. But I don't know, sometimes it really kind of hits harder with Americans. But especially Americans in Australia, I feel like most, this is a blanket statement, but I feel like most Americans have this sort of general sense that Australia is sort of similar to the U.S., and then they find out there's just a lot of bizarre differences, and they find out it's, who'd have thunk, it's its own place. I think these are fun, and I really appreciate you being here. And I guess that's about it for this one. So, with that being said, my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.